Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I am the CHALL, and today Chall chats the Euro Cup. What a tense final at the Copper Box Arena in London tonight. London Lions just miss out by 2 points to Joventut Badalona. Wow, Joventut banked their place into postseason in the Euro Cup. The London Lions pushed to confirm their place in the quarterfinals rather than the eighth finals, has taken a bit of a hit in the very last seconds. So before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell to this YouTube video. Go and send some feedback in the comments down below. This is the first time reviewing the Euro Cup. So how did I do? Shout out to you guys that are giving me support every single day. Give me any feedback in the comments down below. Any basketball fans, any diehard fans of the Lions or Joventut Badalona, just give me your feedback. We are on the road to 3,000 subscribers and also 500,000 views as well. We are not too far away at all from either of those targets. I think it's doable in the next month. So please, 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 let's get there as soon as possible. Plenty more sports content coming along the way as well. We've got stuff from Dunkster Rovers, the Premier League, the WWE, lots of stuff coming for the rest of this month. We also have our big deadline day video, which will be coming at the end of this month as well. So stay tuned for that. We also have a very, very special video that we're recording this week for the end of this week or next week about Reading Football Club with the fan-led protest group Sell Before We Die, spelled DAI. In the word of their and the name of their owner. So huge amount of content to come. We've got some big plans for the channel this year. So please subscribe because there's some big stuff coming this year. And for now, guys, let's get straight into this. Let's discuss this game. So coming into this game, we had to do the research. We had to do the stats. Look at, what's to lose for each of these teams. So we did write some sort of pre-match thoughts going into this. Both teams need the win for very different reasons going into this game. Joventut winning the last 6 straight games. Now it's, of course, 7 just. Of course, they wants to confirm that place in the postseason. Of course, it's not confirmed yet at all whether it's going to be quarterfinals or eighth finals. However, in my personal opinion, I think it's just going to be eighth finals for these guys. I don't see them qualifying for the quarterfinals in the top 2 or 3 places. I think that's London Lions and Paris sorted anyway. But yeah, there's 2 or 3 teams fighting for the quarterfinal spots. Rest of those few spots are, of course, for the eighth finals. I see Joventut getting that spot in the eighth finals, definitely. But they're definitely banking their spot for postseason, absolutely. Looking into this game as well, the Lions were sitting on 18 points clear at the top of the British Basketball League in the domestic game after playing 25 season this year. Joventut were just 1 goal difference outside of the playoff qualification after 18 games in the Liga Endesa division over in Spain. Of course, if you don't know who Joventut are, Joventut Badalona are based in Catalonia in Spain. They're part of the Spanish basketball division. So it's Spain versus England tonight, and Spain came out on top. In football terms, not for the first time. In basketball terms, they're pretty decent. So we've got decent teams in England and Spain for basketball. So it could have gone either way tonight, especially with the positions in the table. And if you were looking at it on paper, Joventut with 6 straight wins, now 7, of course. But London Lions were in those top 2 places, wanting to confirm that quarterfinal spot rather than the eighth finals battle with the quarterfinal spot with 3rd place and make it more comfortable. And it just didn't end up being that way for London. Going into this game, looking at specific players, there were a few that sprang to mind for Joventut. First of all, Andrew Andrews having an exceptional competition. Pep Busquets, right place, right time, showed it again. A proper baseline cutter in Tyler Caden Cook. Amazing, just amazing. And then for the Lions, I mean, there was one particular name that caught my eye, and that is, of course, Matt Morgan. Absolute superstar for the London Lions this season, has been killing it. Proper pacey guard. Bit about Matt Morgan, obviously named in the 2023 All-French League team alongside the current Spurs and NBA star Victor Wembanyama. So he's been around great, and he's a good player himself. So he was one to keep an eye on tonight. But let's get straight into this one then. So first of all, in terms of the actual review itself, um, I mean, let's take it through quarter by quarter because again, we've taken some notes quarter by quarter here. I'm just going to read off a few of these notes and just so explain them in a bit more detail. I mean, first of all, straight off the bat, I mean, overall in terms of the game itself, I think Joventut were very quick off the bat, and then the Lions just grew into it, had their spells. Joventut had their spells, felt a little bit end to end in the next couple of quarters. And then that final quarter, the Lions just blaze like a blazing inferno, but Joventut just edged it at the end. So first quarter, first of all, want to give a special mention to the first move of the game. Great offload, amazing court vision with the blind assist from Tomic to help deliver the first points for Joventut Badalona. I keep pronouncing it Badalona. It's Badalona. So yeah, the first couple of minutes for Joventut were very, very off, all over the place in terms of high press, high attack. It kind of fell, and I sort of felt this at a specific moment in one of the quarters, but I felt it throughout the game as well at times, that Joventut had a very, and I keep referring to football, but it felt very tiki-taka in the way they were passing it about the court and the way they kept passing it around. It was very tiki-taka, looking for the underlaps, looking for the runs in from behind, looking for the gaps that were not being plugged by the Lions' defensive setup. It felt very tiki-taka at times, and there was some great movements throughout the game. And then, like I said, the Lions just started to come back into it, and the quarters went on, then blazed into it in the fourth. I mean, when you're looking at some of the numbers that are coming in, I mean, Shannon Evans, it's his debut. It was his debut tonight for Joventut Badalona, and my God, he absolutely nailed it. He nailed it. He was quick, he was effective, he was pressing very high, he had a great fluidity and flair about him on the court. He was just a fantastic player all around tonight. And then, Pep Busquets, right place, right time, picking up the right moments, getting involved quite a lot. And again, I thought he had a decent game tonight. Andrew Andrews, for the season he's had so far, I think he had a tough one tonight for Joventut. I think Andrew Andrews had a very, very tough one tonight. But he came up in that fourth quarter, didn't he? Exactly when it was needed. And yes, there was a few Joventut players that shined. I mean, Cook was just on fire, absolute baseline cutter, had the pace, had the fluidity, had the flair, had the charisma, had the energy and the stamina for it as well, and just went into it, just went straight into it, and just absolutely blew me away at times in that game. Going into that second quarter, I mean, amazing steal and finish of the move from Josh Sharma from the London Lions under 9 minutes remaining of that second quarter. It was an amazing move. There was tremendous balance from Cook against Sharma's close defensive performance. They did give the foul in that particular move. However, the way Cook balanced himself, differential between the two in that particular battle. But Cook held his own quite well, held his structure and his stance quite well against Sharma's shadow-like, close-like defensive structure. And he held it together brilliantly. Some other great moves in the second quarter. Like I said, the tiki-taka style passing at times from Joventut was fantastic to watch. Matt Morgan to make it 25-31. Brilliant speed, brilliant pace, a lot of energy and drive, and then controlled the de-acceleration, ready for the effort. Matt Morgan was probably my MVP of the night. He was just absolutely on fire. Just beautiful drive, brilliant attack, and just an all-round fantastic player. He just blew me away tonight, 100%. He was probably my MVP of the night for the London Lions, definitely. There was a couple of players it could have been, but Matt Morgan definitely is my pick for MVP for London Lions. Going into the third quarter, then obviously going after halftime, it was 30-40 in favour of Joventut, so it's a 10-point lead. By the end of the third quarter, it was almost a 10-point lead if it weren't for the last couple of points right at the end of the third quarter from London. Again, Shannon Evans, right up until that third quarter at the very least, was perfect from the field. He had an exceptional debut for Joventut. He's one of my Joventut options for MVP for that team, along with Cook. And for me, I felt that that Tomic was up there as well. Tomic, Evans, and Cook were my sort of three picks for MVP for Joventut, and I'll talk about that at the end of the video to talk about their MVP of the night for me in terms of the choice out of those three. But yeah, Evans was perfect from the field right up until that third quarter at the very least. He was just on fire. He was showing exactly what he's capable of. Morgan again had a real abundance about his pace, and we saw that again in the third quarter as the Lions grew in certain stages into that quarter, tightening the lead. It was almost a 10-pointer, became an 8-point lead going into that last quarter. And then, I mean, first of all, let's just talk about that working together between Andrews and Cook for Joventut with the spin and the layoff for the baseline cut move. Absolutely fluid to perfection. It was a fantastic move. And then going into that fourth quarter, I mean, the Lions came out in no analogy terms roaring. They were roaring from the word go in that fourth quarter. They blazed, blazed, blazed. But the thing is about Joventut, right? And this is one of the main weaknesses for me with Joventut tonight, which played a hand into some of the moves that the Lions made. Sometimes their lack of care on the ball cost them in certain points. And I think I put it down here on the fourth quarter notes. Um, I mean, first of all, let's go towards the end of the quarter when it was 80-80. Letting Matt Morgan in, the easiest that someone's got in any part of that game. That was the easiest let off. The commentators mentioned it on TNT Sport tonight. They parted like the Red Sea, the Joventut defensive structure. The defensive line parted like the Red Sea. And Matt Morgan, with his pace and his drive, you just don't part your defense like that. And he just flies in with ease, gets the score, and they're level again. And it was a very tense last 90 seconds, a very, very tense last 90 seconds of that match. And it was Joventut, it was London, it was Joventut, London. And then right at the end of that match with 0.2 on the clock, the winning one, the winning 2-pointer. And wow, I mean, the dejection from some of the London fans that I saw in the crowd was just so clear to see. You could see it in the face of the London players and the coach as well on the bench. The dejection was eminent. It was so clear. So Joventut gets that one. 7 straight games, 7 straight wins in games now for Joventut Badalona, not Barcelona, Badalona. And London Lions for me, I mean, just it must be gut wrenching because they came forward very, very well in that fourth quarter. The fourth quarter was 100% London Lions, but they just couldn't get that win. They just couldn't get it. A couple of missteps here and there, and they just didn't get it. But they've got to come again, and they will come again for their domestic league game and their next EuroCup group match. So, and for Joventut, like I said, they put their place into the 8th finals. That's where I think they'll finish in those places now. They've done at least enough to be in those 8th finals. So congratulations to Joventut. Lions have already qualified for at least the minimum that phase anyway. But of course, London Lions will want to keep hold of second place. They'll want to, progress to the quarterfinals rather than the 8th final. So, London Lions will be all over it. And, it's going to be very interesting to see how that situation develops over the rest of the group stages. But there we go. So there we go, guys. Thank you very, very much for listening to this review. Like I said, if you've never seen me do this before in terms of EuroCup coverage, this is my first ever video on the EuroCup. So please leave some feedback in the comments down below. How do you think I did? Did I suit expectations for a basketball review? Share your things in the comments down below. Share your feedback in the comments down below. We're going to be back with more basketball action throughout the year, more EuroCup games, because I was very enthralled by this. It was a very physical encounter at times as well. Had a lot of physicality. I'm not going to say I had more physicality than the NBA because I think both leagues have got enough physicality in their own way, in my personal opinion. I think both leagues are just as physical as each other at times. But yeah, I liked the action tonight, and it was the first EuroCup game I watched. So obviously, I didn't get a chance to do the previous London Lions game against Hapoel Tel Aviv because there's certain things going off. But yeah, this is the first EuroCup game I actually watched tonight, and I was very enthralled by it. So I can't wait to watch more of that throughout the year. Watch more NBA action as well. That's coming up at some point throughout the rest of this next couple of months as well. So we're going to have more NBA games for you to review, so stay tuned for those. But for now, guys, make sure you stay tuned for all the upcoming content. In fact, the next on location video will be at Bradford on Saturday. Valley Parade, Bradford City taking on Doncaster Rovers. We're going to do a full match day experience video from that game. We're also going to be talking to numerous different people. Numerous different interviews are coming on the channel this next few months, so stay tuned for them. And for now, guys, I am the CHALL. Ta-ra for now.